watching the IUP TV News Bulletin, bringing you stories relevant to IUP and the Indiana community on Channel 6 and 20.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this Thursday, September 29th. I'm Skylar Savansky.
And I'm Ryan Carter, coming to you this evening in association with WIUP News. A quick announcement before we get started. Campus police are currently investigating alleged rumors on social media of an unspecified threat of violence at IUP. They say that no evidence has been found to make the threat credible, but will continue to have an increased presence on campus. Classes are set to continue as planned, and officials are asking that if you see something, to immediately report it to the IUP Campus Police at 724-357-2141.
Hurricane Ian is roaring over the southeastern U.S. as we speak, already devastating nations bordering the Gulf of Mexico, knocking out power and causing record-breaking storm surges and displacing millions. National Weather Service Director Ken Graham says, quote, "This is going to be a storm we will talk about for many years to come." Thousands of flights have been canceled over the following days to and from the area, and officials say that the ripple effects will go on long after the storm dissipates. It's Talons and Sails up for the IUP Sailing Club this semester. This is because the group is now back from Erie, Pennsylvania after taking part in the Erie Yacht Club Regatta. The 5 students being Ben Swanston, Archie Perea, Olivia and Ben Lawton, along with Alex Sedora. Events like this at IUP tend to go under the radar, but IUP professor Ken Sherwood emphasizes just how special this is for the 5 sailors. According to Sherwood, none of them have sailed before coming to IUP, yet they are facing off against people who have been doing this for their whole life.
Another change has been made in IUP's COVID-19 status, dropping from high-risk level just last week to now low-risk level this week. Students are still encouraged to mask if they choose, but ultimately the decision is up to them. The IUP Health Center will soon be receiving the newest version of the COVID vaccine booster and will notify the community when further updates are available.
Pennsylvania driver's license and PennDOT issued identification cards have been redesigned to prevent fraud. They now feature a ghost portrait of the card owner. There is also data that disappears depending on the viewing angle. Among other security enhancements, they have a gold tint visible under direct lighting and a customized security pattern. PennDOT says it will not collect information about when or where it is used, as it is intended to be a convenient means of providing proof of identity and possession of a driver's license.
The Pennsylvania Senate have advanced a bill that will allow fentanyl test strips to become legalized. Right now, test strips are considered as drug paraphernalia, meaning that citizens in possession can be charged. The bill will allow the testing strips to be legal, and that will also help cut down on overdose deaths. There are only 12 states that will classify these strips as paraphernalia, while other states are seeing legalization cut down on the deaths.
United States President Joe Biden is set to host French President Emmanuel Macron to the first state dinner at the White House. The dinner includes a fancy meal and discussions about important happenings in the world. This comes as a shock to many, as the United States originally angered French due to a nuclear deal made with Australia. The dinner will allow both sides to make amends and hopefully work on world issues together.
Check this out, a video of NASA intentionally crashing a satellite into an asteroid roughly 7 million miles from Earth. The Double Asteroid Redirection Test, or DART for short, is a task for space engineers on the deflection of rocky objects similar in size to the one used in this experiment. The collision sets the stage for future projects on changing the direction of asteroids on a collision course with Earth. The main satellite made contact with the celestial body named Dimorphos at 7:17 p.m. on Monday, which does not pose any risk to our planet. Roughly 500,000 people, including Bill Nye, watched a live feed of the impact from a camera mounted on the DART satellite, as well as a nearby satellite set to show a third-person point of view.
Former U.S. intelligence contractor Edward Snowden has been granted citizenship in Russia. Snowden has been living in exile in Russia since 2013 after he leaked NSA programming. The decree to allow Snowden to become a citizen was signed into effect by Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Canada is dropping all of its COVID border restrictions, including vaccination requirements for travelers. As of October 1st, travelers will no longer need to show proof of COVID-19 vaccination or testing and quarantine periods. The mask mandate on planes and other forms of transportation will also be lifted. Canada currently has a vaccination rate of 82% and is seeing massive drops in infection rates as well as deaths.
Coming up, an organization aimed at raising awareness for sexual violence.
But first, a hot drink for the colder months and holidays after this.
Your future beckons, calling from a place where there's plenty of room to grow, where possibilities are abundant, where you'll be challenged every day to uncover the best version of you, where you can blossom. The place, IUP. Here, like the clusters of oaks in our renowned oak grove, we're united in helping you reach new heights. Ready to heed the call? Get in the grove at IUP.
Sexual violence. It's a problem that's right under our noses every day.
That's right, Ryan. And I was able to meet with an organization focused on the issue and ways to address it. IUP Haven Project is here to help each and every one of you with resources they provide. IUP graduate assistant says, quote, "The counseling center is directly tied to the Haven Project."
Particularly, the counseling center is very directly tied to Haven Project, and that's on campus. I think the counseling center is a great resource for people to use. I've heard of a lot of great things at the counseling center, and a lot of people have had really good experiences and other things too. Like we just have a lot of resources in general, and I really am confident that if a student at on the IUP's campus did experience a sexual assault or something like that, they could find help.
The counseling center is located at Suites on Maple. They are there to help you. IUP Haven Project is not only here to help you, but also to spread awareness. Campaigns such as Rain Day is held every year to show support.
We spread awareness, we provide education, and this is the umbrella workshop. We are preparing for Rain Day. Rain Day is a special event that we have every year. RAIN is the Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network, and we do Rain Day to show support for survivors of those topics, and yeah.
Workshops were held for students to come and make their own personal umbrella to show their support. The students were able to write and draw whatever they wanted to on their umbrella.
I wrote rain.org on my umbrella, hoping that an IUP student would see it and use it as a resource to spread awareness to them or whoever may need it.
These umbrellas made by IUP students were placed in the oak grove, so when students were coming and going from class, they were able to see them. This is a way students were able to show that they are an ally in the fight against sexual violence.
This is for the people that don't speak up about it, so we're spreading awareness and getting their voice heard.
It is recognized that sexual assault is difficult to talk about, but you are not alone. Spreading awareness about this topic helps show the support many may need. My name is Skylar Sabansky, reporting in Indiana, PA, IUP TV. It's getting colder and the drinks are getting warmer. That's what our producer, Stoker Wyzorek, and the upcoming holiday traditions say.
Today, a hot beverage that is sold in this shop is having a very special day of recognition and appreciation. It's National Cappuccino Day. The beverage was first made in Italy at the beginning of the 20th century, back when the espresso machine first became popular. Almost every supermarket has them, as well as creative mugs to put your cappuccino in. Dr. Brian Wyzorek shares his thoughts on the beverage.
They taste good. They're kind of a nicety to have every once in a while.
Some of you may be drinking a cappuccino now. If not, you might be wondering, how can I make this thirst-quenching beverage? You could just go to a coffee shop and get one, or you could try making one at your own convenience with an espresso machine. A cappuccino has equal thirds of each ingredient. There is the espresso and the steamed milk, topped off with foam. IUP student and avid coffee drinker Tiani German describes the taste.
Without like a lot of sugar, you can just taste that it's like really bitter, which means they probably use like a really strong espresso.
With the cappuccino being a strong subject of discussion, it can have an overly bitter taste for some people depending on how it's served. Tiani says it's all about trying out the different flavors of coffee to see which one is right for you. If coffee can't satisfy your taste, there's always the classic option of hot chocolate. Studies revealed that a daily cup of cappuccino up to 180 milliliters can stop the oxidation of bad LDL cholesterol and help prevent heart problems. IUP Communications Media Major Joseph Bloss gives his insight.
I think if you have like too much of it, it could be unhealthy. If you have like the right amount of it, it can be healthy because you're not having like too much of it. Some people drink a lot of it, but that's how they function.
It also can lower chances of a stroke by 20%. Drinking it without sugar or using an artificial sweetener such as stevia would be a healthier choice.
Usually if it's above 4 or 5 cups a day, then there's some detrimental effects. But the positive effects is, one, it's a GI motility agent. Most people that are well hydrated and drink coffee are most likely going to have a bowel movement in the very near future. Lower doses, 1 to 2 cups may have some beneficial effects on hypertension, decreased depressions associated with coffee drinkers. Also in moderation, dementia, Parkinson's syndrome, type 2 diabetes, and liver disease.
Now there is a reason to hop on this train of tradition. This is Stoker Wyzorek reporting for IUP TV News.
Next up, a place to counteract those holiday pounds.
And an adorable alternative to uplift your mental health.
The Hub Fitness Center is the go-to place on campus for students to work out. The cardio machines will keep your heart rate pumping. And there is plenty of equipment for strength training of your choice. Our functional training rooms will help keep your core in shape. From strength training to cardio, this is the place to go to stay fit.
The foods these days can be tempting. That's one of the reasons why our reporter, James Getty, is here showing us where people go to shred those carbs.
If you want to stay healthy, you probably think about going to the gym. Here at the IUP gym, students come and go to stay healthy. Every day from 6:30 a.m. to 10 p.m., the gym is available. In fact, this is one of the few places that stayed open throughout the pandemic.
I'd say the gym's very, very important to me because, well, it gives me something to do, it keeps me in shape, makes me have a positive self-image along with a lot of other people.
Perhaps you have heard about healthy body, healthy mind, especially at this time of year when the weather is challenging and COVID is still prevalent in our community.
I feel like the gym helps you have a positive mental health because if you go to the gym, you feel positive, feel good, help you have a better self-image and leads to an overall better mental health.
The Hub Fitness Center is a good way for students at IUP to stay active. However, keeping it safe during a pandemic can be a challenge.
The most important part about keeping the gym open and safe during the pandemic is having a safe space for students to come, hang out, and exercise and relieve some of the stressors from class. So as a staff, we're doing our best by sanitizing all the equipment after use and coming in at 7 a.m. once a week to come in and sanitize everything just so everybody is safe. And it's really important to us, and I'm sure all the students, to have a place to come and work out.
The state-of-the-art facility offers students the ability to work out, play intramural sports, and much more. Staying active is one of the most important things college students can do, especially during the trying times of COVID-19. The fitness centers are open Monday through Saturday and are accessible to all IUP students with an active iCard. This is James Geddes reporting for IUP TV News.
The benefits of spending time with the animal include lowering blood pressure, stress levels, and well-being. That shows in Chloe Buzzard's IUP Therapy Dog story.
No matter who you are, everybody loves dogs. Known as man's best friend, these furry creatures can do just about anything to make us smile. even when we're feeling down. From fish to cats to even cows, it's no wonder why they're so loved. No matter what, our pets will always be there for us, which is why they can play such an important role in taking care of mental health. Whether it be from outside factors such as changes to our community, to inside factors such as struggling with relationships and health. IUP's student body has been undergoing massive changes in structure lately, and with that can come scary mental health consequences. But thankfully for lots of students at IUP, there's hope out there. This semester, IUP has welcomed some very special guests to aid in the fight against mental illness. Welcome the friendly dogs from Just Paws.
The dogs help them by comforting them and providing a stress relief. There's proven facts about how the dogs absorb your stress. So not only are they absorbing their stress, but if a lot of students have pets at home and everything, so allowing them to come here and cuddle with the pets and pet the dogs and everything else, just interact with them, really helps them along those lines. And it reminds them of their pets back home. They get to socialize with the handler, so everything goes really well.
From humble high school beginnings to IUP's very own library right here, Just Paws has been coming to IUP for many years. What started out as a stress reliever for lots of the students taking exams turned into a huge hit. Even through COVID, the dogs have been visiting, though the owners take many precautions to wear masks and social distance. Even now, a year later, the owners will still wear masks and social distance in order to keep the dogs and both the students safe. No matter what, students are eager to visit the pets while they're here. But the question is, do they really work?
Just having all this schoolwork all on top of me with finals weeks coming and everything, just getting to pet a dog and, just any dog or really any animal, but specifically the therapy dogs, obviously. I don't know, they just relieve stress for me. And seeing a dog kind of reminds me of seeing my pet at home, so.
Luckily for those of us at IUP, the therapy dogs from Just Paws are visiting every Monday at Folger Student Center starting at 6 to 7:30 p.m. No RSVP is needed and all are welcome. I'm Chloe Bazard, reporting for IUP TV.
Why people are planning meetings now with their academic advisors.
Do you have a passion for sports? Do you like watching, discussing, and debating about them? Then the Big Hit is for you. This is IUP TV's one and only sports show. We cover all sorts of sports such as football, soccer, baseball, and more. You can do sideline interviews with players and coaches or be the person behind the camera capturing all this footage. This year, the Big Hit is teaming up with Sports Production to get up close and personal with IUP sports. If you have a passion for sports, the Big Hit is for you.
We are still in the first half of the semester, but when it comes to classes in the winter and spring, students have found it better to start meeting with their advisors now.
That's according to a story by our Ryan Malone on academic advising. By the way, the spring schedule will be available this Saturday, and depending on what year you are, you can register as early as October the 10th.
Every semester, IEP students are expected to make decisions along with their advisor to help them schedule classes.
Right? If there's things that we can help you with, let us know. All right. Learn how to use all of the tools that you have access to.
The classes and the paths that we take in college can really help shape our careers down the road, and that's why advisors are so important. The good thing about IUP is that we always have advisors there to assist us.
My advisor emails us and tells us to sign up for a time to come in. When we meet with him, he sits us down and explains to us what classes we still need to take and what credits we need to take that semester for us to graduate on time.
Different departments have different ways in advising. Comm media faculties act as advisors, while in other departments sometimes there's a specific person in charge.
It's important for me and my advisor to be on the same page so that way I'm getting all my core classes out of the way and I'm prepared for my career after college.
Advisors are the experts in multiple categories, and besides helping us plan our college paths, advisors can be great mentors as well. Our advisors at IUP are great at being there for their students and doing what they can to jumpstart their careers. And I'm Ryan Malone, reporting for IUP TV News.
Hello everyone, I'm Stoker Wyzorek with this week's IUP Sports News. This past Saturday, the IUP football team defeated the Mercyhurst Lakers by the final score of 33-16. A dominant team performance in the home opener sees IUP moving to 3-0 on the season. As mentioned earlier this week on WIUP, the Crimson Hawks will clash against number 8 nationally ranked Slippery Rock this Saturday, October 1st at Miller Stadium for the annual homecoming game. The IUP women's volleyball team kicked off their conference schedule with 2 wins this past weekend. On Friday, they easily swept California University of PA by a score of 3-0 on Saturday. They pulled off an exciting 3-1 victory against the Seton Hill Griffins. Senior outside hitter Nicole Peterson led the attack, scoring 19 points, while senior setter Leah Henderson dished out an impressive 49 assists. These 2 victories moved the Lady Hawks record to 13-2 overall and 2-0 in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. They will be in action once again tonight against Pitt Johnstown at 7 p.m. The IUP women's soccer team tied against Mercyhurst this past Saturday. The lone goal for IUP was scored by freshman Belle Garzarelli. This tie brings the team to 2-1-4 on the season. They will return to the field tomorrow to take on Seton Hill here at 7 p.m. In other news around the sports world, the Pittsburgh Steelers lost for the 2nd consecutive week this past Thursday against the Cleveland Browns. A lackluster offensive performance combined with some late game blunders produced a final score of 29-17 in Cleveland's favor. The Steelers will look for more redemption on Sunday, October 2nd, when they face the New York Jets. While things look bleak in Pittsburgh, the Philadelphia Eagles continue to fly as they were able to beat the Washington Commanders by a final score of 24-8. Impressive performances from young playmakers Jalen Hurts and Devonta Smith saw the Eagles soar to 3-0 on the season. This promising start has many Eagles fans excited about the rest of the year. The Pittsburgh Pirates were victorious on Monday night against the Cincinnati Reds with a score of 8-3. The MLB regular season is slowly coming to an end, and unfortunately, the Pirates will not make the playoffs. The record is currently 57-97, and they sit last place in the NL Central Division with only 12 games remaining. It's no doubt that the Pirates fans will hope to remain optimistic for next season following a disappointing 2022 campaign. That's all the sports news for now. Until then, it's the homecoming weekend, and for Skylar and I think it's our last homecoming weekend, right?
It is, and it's going to be my first homecoming weekend that I will not be in the parade or cheering at the game, so I'm very excited.
Aside from the homecoming concert in the KCAC, another concert will be held by IUP's Wind Ensemble, Symphony Band, and Company. You can catch them in the Fisher Auditorium Performing Arts Center from 3 to 4 p.m. this Sunday.
The IUP Event Management Career Fair is this Friday. It offers employers with a full-time and part-time entry-level, internship, and co-op positions. An opportunity to meet one central location with alum, graduating students, and upperclassmen. Employers will be able to speak with candidates and conduct brief interviews. The event will take place from 9 to 5 in the KCAC. If you haven't heard yet, IUP News is collaborating with our local radio station, 90.1 WIUP FM, where you can also receive up-to-date stories produced by IUP students coming from multiple backgrounds.
If you're interested to volunteer and produce local stories with our team, please contact one of us on our website, iupnews.godaddysites.com.
Looking for some new entertainment? Check out IUP TV today. This station features student-created content such as The Big Hit for sports coverage, Animation Nation for all things anime and toon, Indie Rockers Ball for local music acts, Press Start for your game fix, and Witticism for a laugh. Tune in on Campus TV or on our respective YouTube channels today. There's something for everyone, made by the people that you know.
That'll do it for IUP News this week. On the next show, look out for how homecoming went. I'm Skylar Sabansky.
And I'm Ryan Carter. On behalf of the IUP News team, we want to thank you for choosing us as your local news source.
And don't forget to listen to our news show on 90.1 WIUP FM every Tuesday at 4 p.m. and follow our Instagram page at IUP_news. With that being said, I'm Stoker Wyzorek. Please take care and good night.